Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I am Mandy Jones, and usually next to me is my husband Glenn, but he works nights now, so it's just me. Sorry. I know you guys have been asking for him, but it's just me. Tonight I have a fucking awesome guest, so I'm going to just do a little quick housekeeping, like really, really quickly. This is our 8th episode of the Calamity Jones Hour. If you've never seen this before, I am a stand-up comedian. I do the Wildflowers podcast every Wednesday alongside another famous comedian. I love her dearly, Bonnie Scalisi. She's a great friend of mine, and we have nothing but fun. We don't talk politics on that show. We have a different topic every week and a different guest. And these are live interactive podcasts. So if you say hey to us while we're watching on Facebook, we like to include the audience. That's a major part of our mission here. If you're watching, if you found us and you enjoy this, please share the show. It really helps. Share the show. Please share the show. Did you share the show? Share the show. This is the 8th episode of the Calamity Jones Hour, and this is September 25th, 2020, if you can believe that shit already. Fastest and slowest year maybe ever. You want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mandy Jones the Comedian. Are you good there, sir?
I'm not tagged in it. Well, I am, but it hasn't popped up in my feed yet because
Okay.
Here we go. I got you.
All right, we're good. So we're almost ready for this. Oh, so this is first of all, I'm gonna before I bring him on. The first time I ever did a podcast was this man asked me to do a podcast. I went to open mic and I told a joke and he laughed, his distinct laugh from the back of the room, and he said I do a podcast, and I didn't know anything about podcasting or what it meant, and he invited my husband, who you guys have seen me grow with, people who watch. Hey Shawnee for watching. Hey Joan Krupe Asher. Hey Nancy Weems. So he had Glenn and I on the show, on his podcast, and it's just funny that we're coming full circle now, and I'm so honored that I have a studio that I can now let you shine on, because you gave me a platform to shine. So that's how this shit works. But I think we should bring him on. This guy, I mean, he did hip hop for years, but he's a comedian, and he's mostly a radio personality and a podcaster, and he's a great friend of mine. And my friend, and now yours, Mr. Justin McDonald. Woo!
How's it going?
It's great. And I meant to say during the intro, you have a very special surprise for me. So you guys have to keep watching, because we have a very, very, very special surprise that I'm stoked about.
Your setup is far more complex than mine.
I have a husband that see, we as comedians, we want to write the best jokes. And when I go to work, I'm a great business lady. But when I'm a comedian, I just want to write the best jokes. And he sees potential in me that I don't see in myself. And he's like, oh, no, we're going to get you a camera. He wanted to up the production value. He figured out, the mixer, and he taught, and it's funny because we troubleshoot the shit together. And every time we teach each other something new. Like tonight, Glenn is working, so I have my friend Zach. Shout out to Zach for running the board, so I don't have to be fiddling with it while I'm talking to you guys.
That's always fun.
Yeah, no, it's
that's my job on the podcast.
Well, and that's the thing. It's and that's why you need two people. When it was just me and Joey Petroni, and I'm running the board, and there was an echo issue. It's like my mom's texting me like, "You have an issue," and I'm like, I'm the talent and the engineer, and everything's going wrong, and I don't know how to fix it, and I'm sorry. And I'm like, but we learn from trial and error, and you're gonna get a nice, cleaner interview than Joey Petroni did. But I'm gonna have him back because we trial and error, trial and error. Like Kristen Tinsley, I was telling her, I'm gonna show you my setup. She's a podcaster. I'm like, I'll show you everything I know. And now we finally set up a date to do it, because now I'm not embarrassed that I actually know how to do it, because I was like, we were having technical difficulties. I don't think I should show you the wrong way.
The board doesn't bother me, because being on the radio for all those years, I had to engineer myself on the radio. So when I see the board, I'm like, I already know what's going on.
Right. And so Glenn actually should have a lesson with you, because we just know on and off. Glenn's like, we don't touch these buttons.
No, and typically, you really don't either for audio.
Yeah, because you did music,
Yeah.
so that's a whole different ballgame.
A lot of that is pitch and gain, and
right,
bass.
and you could ruin it. Yeah, you could ruin a song if you got that.
But you know how many times I've been in the middle of my podcast and realized I didn't even press fucking record.
Oh
It happens.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was sitting on my microphone the other day because I was so interested in fucking. I was so concentrated on getting fucking food into the guest's mouth before, and I didn't have my husband here, and he's like, baby, all you need to do is plug it in, like, so like the lights weren't on, like, he's like, you need to plug it in and like make sure everything's on, like, you don't just have to like plug it in and it just works, like, it's not a robot, like.
I'll troubleshoot my own stuff, but like at my job, they know that I used to be on the radio, and they'll call me down. I'm like, that's a $30,000 piece of equipment. I'm not touching it. No, you're not.
That's above my pay grade. I don't feel comfortable actually.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mind the patchy beard because I have to wear a mask all the time. I just figured I've never tried to grow a beard before, and I'm like, let's just see what it looks like after a month.
Yeah, because I could hide it under a mask.
Yeah, I was like, let me see. My wife doesn't like if I have, lip hair, so I was like, let me just do the Wolverine chops.
Let me just do an Amish. Come on,
like,
just
I
one
wear a neck
Amish.
gaiter.
Come on, this might be my only time to ever do this.
I wear this fucking thing, so it always goes up above, so nobody ever sees.
Nobody knows. I like because I don't have to brush my teeth anymore. I'm like, oh, did I not brush my teeth? Oh, I'm the only one smelling this horrible fucking mess.
Yeah. And even if you brush your teeth after fucking 2-3 hours in that thing, you're like, oh Jesus Christ.
Well, I love that I eat and like I come home and like I'll have like a big thing of like food in my mouth. I'm like, husband, thank you. Like, really appreciate that. Like one day it was a total dick thing. I said to him in front of friends, I was like, don't fucking, he said something that was about my appearance. So I was like, don't. So then him and my buddy Longo let me like fucking all night have like the biggest poppy seed in my mouth. And I was like, are you guys seriously that much of fucking assholes? They were like, you told us not to fucking say shit about you. Like,
guys do that. We put our own foots in our mouth. I did that with my wife.
I fucking hate you.
During the quarantine, I started losing weight because I was just constantly running around. I was still working, and I was working with the kids, and I wasn't eating, so I was losing weight.
You did the opposite of the quarantine. Yeah, everybody gained weight. You ran. You were walking and fucking.
I lost 20-something pounds during this whole fucking thing.
All right, this is an anomaly right here, guys. This guy fucking.
And I was sitting with my wife one day, and we're drinking, and we're hanging out in the man cave, and I'm like, you gained all the weight I lost. And she was like, that's it. We're going on a diet. So I've been on this diet now for 2 months. So
now there's no cheese in the house.
Yeah, and it was stupid because I was like, I knew
it was a stupid.
It was gonna be funny.
As soon as it came out of your mouth, you probably regretted it. It's like when you bowl and as soon as you let it go that it's not gonna it's a gutter ball.
It was one of those jokes that I knew was going to be funny, but there was going to be repercussions.
But it was worth the laugh.
Yeah.
You took it was worth the fucking.
I told her, you and my son both gained the weight I lost. Yeah, so she was like, that's it, we're dieting.
Yeah, you like those Doritos, do you, Justin?
Not anymore. Yeah. Not anymore.
Yeah, the ice cream man comes around really at this place.
6 times a day by my house.
Right? And Bonnie's like, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're not in fucking the right territory. Yeah. This is Suffolk County, yo. We fucking everywhere. We run this shit.
They're everywhere. And they still got the 5-cent Chinese gum. I don't know if it's still 5 cents anymore.
No,
it's the worst tasting gum.
Can you still get candy cigarettes out of those fucking bodegas on wheels?
No, I don't know. I haven't seen.
Because I always felt like a fucking pimp when I had those.
That and the bubblegum cigars. Bubblegum cigars were the shit.
I never got that.
No? It would say instead of White Owl, it would be like, White Dove, whatever. Yeah. They were definitely promoting pot smoking back in the 80s. Candy cigarettes.
Got Bonnie, they need a comment reader. Oh, I'm sorry, Stuart. We're neglecting Lou. Hey, Bonnie's in the room. Robin DeVito. You met Robin, right? Yes. Robin is great. Nice. Robin, you met Justin.
Stu Brenner, I see there. What up, Stu?
Yeah, that's Stu. Yeah, fucking that's Jan. So Jan is Stu's brother, who does the podcast with Struggle
myself.
Here,
yes.
Justin.
Myself.
And they tell you not to say struggle, but I like struggle because I don't think of a negative connotation. When I always called you struggle, I mean, not only because that was a nickname of yours when I met you, but because I think pressure creates diamonds. And I don't think that if you don't have struggle, I don't think that you really have much to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's people on the planet that will only call me struggle.
When you got brought up at the McNeely show,
I got struggle.
You got struggle, and you were like, you started, and that kind of eased the pain because you were like, I haven't heard that, That's not my comedy name, but.
Well, it is. I say Justin Struggle McDonald, but I don't always put it, and I don't expect people to always do it. It's kind of like Joey Coco Diaz. Not everybody calls him Coco, but he does get it.
Yeah, Joey Diaz.
But
yeah.
there's a portion. There's a portion of the world in my 20s that honestly believes that my real name is Struggle. That I told them my parents named me that. They were hippies.
Well, I lied to Glenn, and I go, oh yeah, I said, oh yeah, my middle name is Indiana. My parents think they're funny, so I just said it like that.
Mandy, Indiana Jones.
and then we're at a party, like now we're like hooking up and hanging out, and I'm like, yeah, I tell people my middle name's Indiana, like for fun, like, and he goes, I told people that. Like, he thought it was so cool. Like, I met somebody named, I'm like, oh, sorry, babe. Meant to tell you that was a fucking total lie.
That's funny.
Meant to tell you that our relationship was built on a lie. Sorry about that one.
Yeah, I used to tell people, I hate the name Justin. I never liked the name.
So you named your son that?
Intentionally.
I know.
So someone else could feel my pain. And he hates the name, too. For a while there, he only wanted me to call him Michael. He's like, just call me Michael. I'm like, I'm not calling you Michael.
I didn't get to be called Michael.
No. But he has options because he's Justin Jr. So he could be JJ, he could be Junior, he could be something else. He doesn't have to necessarily go by Justin. He doesn't like when anybody else with me and his mom call him Junior because I don't call him anything but Junior.
I'm not a junior.
He's like, just don't call me that in public.
Wait, how old is he?
10.
Okay. Oh, so this is when you're like not cool anymore.
Yeah, well,
like 2 years ago, you like had him like 2 years, like 8-year-olds are like cool, and then once they're like 11 and 12, they're like actually fuck you.
So no, one of the kids that he hangs out with called him Junior, and he was like, please don't call me that.
Yeah, my mother and my father.
He's like, only my mom and dad call me that. Nobody else allowed to call me that.
Well, people will say Amanda, and I'm like, I introduce myself as Mandy, and they go, oh, hi, Amanda. I'm like, I just told you my grandmother and my fucking dad is allowed to call me Mandy.
Yeah.
Because I won't mouth off to them.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. So, and I was like, you can be JJ. I was like, that was one of the reasons too. Like, we couldn't agree with it. I wanted some like crazy name. I wanted like
Goku,
like Memphis or Dallas or something like that.
If you conceive the kid in Memphis, that's okay. But if you fucking just want to name your kid a random fucking place that you've never been to, like, we called him Patty
or Rory, but it was spelled Ruari. Yeah.
Oh, my cousin Rory. That's cute.
It's an Irish name. I was
my cousin was we call him Kev Dog because his buddy was Rory and they called him Raw Dog. So now Kev Dog was born. Because only Raw Dog needed Kev Dog.
My daughter's screwed because she's got the craziest name ever. She's Ireland Ann, and it's spelled IRELYN, and then ANN. Guadalupe McDonald. The Mexican in her. She had
to get that real Mexican one in there.
That's my wife's grandmother's name.
If we're gonna name her fucking Dublin, Ireland, Limerick, Galway, McDonald's, we're calling her fucking Guadalupe God.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a third fucking middle name.
Well, it was her grandmother's name, so it's her grandmother's name. So, and it was a fight, and we
had it. You're such a dick.
Until the day the baby was born, it was just going to be Ireland. Her middle name was going to be Ann because my mom is Lynn, her mom is Ann.
And then she's like, "Wait, I'm losing everything." She's like, "Wait a minute, I carried this bitch for 9 months, and then she was like, "Wait a minute, I'm not getting any of the names."
Yeah, she pulled the old. I just had a baby. Let me
She pulled the old. I brought this thing into the world bit.
No, it was more of, we're not having another one, so let me get what I want. Fine. Middle name. I'm never going to call her that.
That's fine. Like, you could call me Spunky. Like, it doesn't matter what's on my fucking birth certificate. But, I think...
For all I know, she's going to change her name when she turns 18. I don't fucking know. She's going to hate it so much that she'll just change it. It's nobody.
She's gonna be Justin, and your son's gonna be Michael.
Yeah,
but
she'll be Justine.
Justine. She'll still be totally a girl, but she'll love the name Justin.
I want to be Justine. I want your name with the E at the end. Why?
Daddy, I want to be just like you. Why did Justin get your name and I didn't? Yeah. The complexes. You can't fucking win. That's why I'm not having kids.
I try to explain to my son because he's always, why'd you name me that? I'm like, because mommy and daddy could not agree on the name. So the
So we went.
alternative was Justin Jr. I was like, and that's the way the dice rolled for you. Sorry, kid.
If we had flipped a coin, if we had been drinking something else.
I was like, you can do like I did and get into hip hop at 13 years old and get yourself your own nickname. You got 3 more
Make
years.
something of yourself
Yeah.
with your name.
And
Well,
then-
because I don't use my married name anywhere. My stage name is and it's funny because my dad's girlfriend brought that up to my dad. He was like, we were watching family videos and she goes, he said something and she goes, no, but she uses her stage name. She uses Jones, and he was like, oh, all right, yeah, cool, all right.
Well,
I like this
you started
comedy
that
stuff.
way. You started that way, but there's nothing wrong with you even changing it.
Well,
but
it just has such a nice ring to it. Even when I went to college, like everyone called me Mandy Jones. Like it's just this like
it does.
the people are like, is it real?
Easy
Is
to
it a
remember.
porn star name? No, that's just they've called me Mandy since I was a baby.
It's easy to remember.
I used to get jealous because the teacher would go, Amanda Jones, oh, that's an easy one. Because I was jealous of the kids that they would go, all right, Guadalupe McDonald the second.
Nobody gets her name right, and I'm like, can you people not read? Look at the way it's spelled. Look what it says.
We did it phonetically.
It's very quite easy to understand what her fucking name is, and people are just like, well, what's her name? Never mind. Like, poor girl.
Yeah.
All her fucking school life, she's gonna be like, Ireland. My name is Ireland. That's what that says. It's not like I wrote it in another fucking language. It's perfect fucking English. Look at it. Look at the goddamn name.
The way it's spelled on the globe.
Yeah. No, it's not even spelled like that. It's spelled Irelyn.
Oh,
Ireland.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
like Irie. Like everything
Iri.
Yeah.
And then my mother's Lynn. She was Lynn.
Oh, okay.
And
I love Lynn's.
My mother-in-law is Anna, so we gave her Ann.
Okay.
So it's Ireland Ann.
Yeah.
But the Ann is the A's capital in the
But
Ann.
then she pulled a fucking fast one and had to get that.
Guadalupe in there. They're never gonna believe. My kids are never gonna believe they're Mexican. My daughter's got blonde hair and blue eyes. Like my wife.
They're never gonna believe
I
it.
look Puerto Rican to begin with, and my wife's from Mexico. That she pulled all the recessive traits possible out of my father's side of the family.
Yeah, you're that real white Irish.
Dark out. Yeah, my dad too. My
But
dad's really
you
dark too.
look like you tan. I mean, you have color right now.
This is.
Are you black Irish?
Yeah.
Can you get tan?
I can get. Yeah, I used to be able to before I got diagnosed with lupus. So yeah, I used to walk around.
Oh, I didn't know
really
you
dark.
had lupus.
Yeah, only on the skin. It's weird.
So what does that mean?
I just can't be in the sun. I can be outside all day in this weather. 75, 80 degrees, no problem.
Okay.
I just can't stay exposed in direct sun for too long. And especially when it's real humid, that makes it even worse. So I'll get like, I'll start to look like a red panda. I'll get the circles around the eyes that are red and it puffs up, and then I get like sick. I'll end up with like flu-like symptoms for like 2 days. And be bedridden and be miserable. So it's just, that's why I'm never going to move south. Like I would love to move to like Texas
Glenn's
to
going
retire.
to move me to like Maine. And
That's
I'm
where
like, I'm never
that's where
moving
I'm probably
again.
going.
I'm dying here.
No,
I'm not going anywhere colder.
I'm either going.
But I am.
We're either going to the Adirondacks or I told her Maine, because I was looking at properties in Maine. I found 2.5 acres on a private island for $32,000.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then I found 4.5 acres, 75 feet from the lake, $16,000. That's just the land. I'm like, I don't need to build. Just get the land now. And when I'm ready to fucking move, I'll sell my goddamn house for the goddamn phenomenal price that these houses on Long Island are going for right now. And then I'll build everything from scratch. And I'll still have $500,000 left.
Honestly, this 2020 put everything into perspective. I mean, I started growing vegetables that look like I should not ever have kids because they're neglected right now. But it was like, wait a minute, what if shit really does get fucked up? Like, we became flexitarians, and it's great because we don't eat meat all the time, so we have like cans of beans, and I'll make, instead of taco meat, I'll just do garbanzo beans and no, not even refined beans, garbanzo beans, black beans, and kidney beans, and then I'll just do a taco packet, but I do the Goya because I got my Puerto Rican sister who got me with the hookup with the good shit. But you don't even miss the meat. Or we do the meatless crumbles that are like they're black beans. So if you wanna if you wanna see your wife and raise her one higher, say, hey honey, red meat's not great for us every day.
No, we don't even eat red meat every day.
It's good because it's not normal. Well, you're you're like an animal guy. So tell me about that. I mean, like you like is that part of it?
But I'm all for hunting too.
But that's what I'm saying. Like so, like because hunters only eat meat every once in a while because you
hunters
can't
eat. So I'll put it in perspective. So if my brother hunts deer, so if my brother kills one deer, that's about 200-300 pounds of meat. That's a year's supply of food. If you go to a bigger animal, an elk, you'll get even more. So you don't have to go and buy meat that was processed from a plant.
Right.
A deer, a cow, an elk, they're all kind of the same animal. Moose, it's all kind of the same thing. If you let a cow go wild, like just let them go wild, because they will become like deer. They can run up to 30, 40 miles an hour. They're extremely fast.
Really?
And they have very good eyesight. They become very keen to people, and they sprint. I watched what's that guy? Not the Survivor Man.
Okay.
He went down to Argentina, and he was showing him. He's like, look, these people came down to Argentina. They couldn't take the cold in the winter, so they left, and they left the cows. Now the cows were wild, and these things are running like herds of buffalo. I was like, holy shit, that's a cow.
That's crazy. And now you're bringing me to the next level. So human, because we're just cattle. We're in the phone and doing what we're not supposed to be doing, and maybe we could be running like wild horses. What is your spirit animal?
I have a mixture. I always.
What are your spirit animals?
What
comes to mind?
Usually always a canine, wolf, or bear, or a raven is usually. But I have
raven. And I don't hear that one often.
I have an obsession with loons.
Loons?
Yeah.
That's a bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it look like? It's an aquatic bird.
Okay.
It looks like.
I'm a loon, but I didn't know.
Looks like that.
Oh, it's your background.
Yeah.
It looks like a duck.
Much larger than a duck, and it has a sword on its face.
Oh, a loon.
Yeah.
Loon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like one of your big loves is animals.
Yeah. The production company is Laughing Loon Productions. That's my production. So that's
okay.
And I got that, but it's a double entendre, I guess is what it is. Because before I was ever struggled, my nickname in high school was Looney. So I was Looney in high school.
There you go. That's funny.
And I love loons, so I was like, it has two meanings.
Yeah,
it's Laughing Loon, as in I'm laughing, but I love loons, so the loon is on the the cover.
It never ends.
But no, I wanted to be a zoologist as a kid. My dad talked me out of it.
Why? He wanted you to make money?
He was like, you're gonna go to be a doctor for 12 years and then work in the Bronx Zoo. He was like, you're gonna make $40,000 a year. You never pay it off.
No, Dad, I'm gonna be a starving artist.
At least I would have been fucking happy doing it,
No, I'm just kidding. You work.
You're
like me. You're like a real person that works.
Yeah, I work. Yeah, I have a good job. I actually haven't done. I started doing the open mics and then I just got lazy, or they just got too late. So like at 8 o'clock mic, I'm like, I can't do it, especially if I got to go to Nassau. I'm like, half an hour there, half an hour back. By the time I get up, leave, it's 10 o'clock, it's 11. By the time I wind down, it's 12:30. I got to be up at 5:30.
You know what I'm guilty about? I feel guilty that I'm not writing, because if I'm not going to the mics, at least I should be making more material. And that's what I feel guilty about. Because if I'm not going to get in the car, at least sit down for an hour with your notebook and try to think of a couple things. And I'm preaching to a bitch that needs preaching.
See, I think what happened to me
I'm saying this to you because I need to hear it.
I think what happened to me is I got caught up in Netflix shows. And
See,
I
that's
started
the thing.
watching
You get
seasons
passionless.
Yeah.
You because it's like you don't have a show to get ready for. You don't need to. But you do.
You do. Well, the show is life.
Exactly. It's a performance that never happens. Life is a rehearsal for a performance.
You never know when somebody's gonna just be like, "Hey, tell me a joke." And you don't know.
Like right now.
Yeah. Tell me a joke. Well, that's what I've been doing this entire time.
That's what I said to Darren. I was like, my little brother-in-law. I was like, struggle, because he lived with me the last 2 summers. He supports me endlessly. So anytime
he looked for me.
And I'm like, you've been on. We've shared the stage too many times together for you to not know this man. And then I had to bring up, of course, all your jokes that I know, because they make me laugh every time, so I could do your bits. But you fucking, I'm gonna butcher it, but the koala bear was the joke that I gave.
Fuck koalas. Yeah, I've only done that one a few times, and I do that one usually when Steve and Rocco Perillo's
I love it
because
it makes me laugh.
He loves that joke.
But can you let them in on the punchline? Why fuck koalas?
Oh, because I want to know who the hell named those things bears.
Right, exactly.
You know, bears eat things. Bears have little bears that eat things. Koalas sit there on their fucking perch eating leaves. It's like the fucking vegan asshole.
We were just talking about callbacks.
Sitting there constantly judging you while you're eating your meat.
It's me.
You know, and then they don't even have. Then when they have babies, they put them in a fucking pouch in their stomach. They're not bears. They're fucking faggot animals.
Yeah, they're kangaroo marsupials, if anything.
But you know what? They're actually pretty fucking vicious animals, to be quite honest with you.
Well, they have Wolverine fucking claws. I can only imagine.
I mean, they're actually.
They're actually bear. If you had a run-in with one, you'd be like, "That was a fucking bear, dude."
If they were,
that was a fucking bear. I don't know what that fucking thing was, but it had bear-like qualities.
If it wasn't poisoning itself all the time, it would probably be a lot faster.
What do you mean poisoning itself?
Eucalyptus is highly poisonous.
Okay.
So, and that's what they're constantly eating. So they're constantly poisoning.
Well, but humans just like smoke cigarettes.
That's true. But that's what keeps them
so maybe they're evolved.
They're always high. That's all it is. They're fucking high all the time. They're tripping out.
Well, my father-in-law, he had cats that every year they would eat the poinsettias. It would eat the poinsettias, and you trip out. No, you trip out. You being the cat.
Yeah, no, but that
trip out
because it could kill them.
But they get so close to it that they would eat just enough every year to get fucked up to get their like fucking bell rung or whatever it was.
I won't let my wife bring poinsettias in the house because of the cat. Yeah, so I'm like, no, because my cat's stupid. My cat will just keep eating. Next thing you know,
no, we're gonna kill the cat. I know it looks great for Santa, honey, but we're gonna kill the fucking cat.
Yeah, don't kill the cat, please. I know you don't
Not
like.
for Santa's sake.
I know you don't like him or her, but surrounded by hers. All my animals are hers. My wife, my daughter.
Oh my god. Wait, so I think it's time to. I don't want to forget that we have a very special.
Yes.
You know, because we're about halfway there.
So
I want you to tell them.
When you were on the podcast, we had during Zoom, during all this fucking bullshit when we couldn't sit next to each other. It's fucking ridiculous. You had asked about wanting your own Adirondack walking stick. So I made some phone calls and I got you one.
I am so honored. And guys, there will be pictures of this because we got ASCO, so Adirondack
Walking Stick Company, AWS,
Co. And this is fucking amazing.
The wildflowers.
He's got the wildflowers. He's got two little wildflowers. Ooh, can you see that? Yeah. Look at that. That's hand carved, guys. I
burned that with a etcher.
Oh my god!
I don't have the greatest handwriting nor.
Come on.
Actually, twist this way.
I gotta go this way.
And go that way.
There
and actually, it's a little unlevel on each side because it kind of does a walk.
But so am I.
It kind of does a walk. So like as you're moving it, it'll do like.
It's like a walker, because check out the bottom of this thing, guys. This is what makes it.
Or if a raccoon ever gets in the yard, you can grab it by the neck.
Ooh.
Get it out of there.
Or fucking koala bear.
Yeah, koala definitely.
I will fend off whatever I gotta fend off with this thing. This is part of my studio now. You know that, right?
Yes.
You know that.
If you look in the front, that's from Pottersville. That is a fossilized shark tooth.
Really?
Yeah, that's from Pottersville, New York, up in the Adirondacks.
Hell yeah. Pottersville.
Yeah, we do a hike every year around this cave system, and they mine gems, and then the kids go and mine them. And my son obviously takes all the big expensive ones, but I take the little ones from him and I put them in these walking sticks, and that's epoxy over it.
That's amazing. That is amazing. You didn't. I didn't. I'm so honored.
Well, you saw it just as I had just.
I was like, did you grab the walking stick, because that's part of the show? And he gave me a quick I didn't get to really soak it in, and I'm honored. I really am.
No problem. It's
You were the first podcast I ever did.
Yes. And you said I invited your husband, and I invited your husband because I'm like a fucking weirdo, and I don't want women to think that I'm trying to take advantage of them.
You want to come to my man cave
Yeah.
and film a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, my wife will be there. Don't worry. Like, yeah, that's reassuring. I don't fucking. So, I've done that a couple times with people where I'm like, if it makes you feel better, bring your husband or your boyfriend. I'm like, I'm really just trying to interview.
But then I felt like I was interfering with you guys because you guys were just talking about upstate, and he's like really smart.
Yeah.
So like you guys like totally like. I'm like, oh, I could tell jokes. Like,
no, it was fun. It was fun.
No, it was great.
It was awesome.
It was fucking. It's real talk. That's why I said I didn't even put questions together today.
No,
because I know you, and I knew that we're just gonna fucking rock it.
Yeah, of course. It's an hour. It's not. We can do that standing on our heads.
I know.
Spitting wooden nickels.
I know. And you've supported, we did Three's Company radio show, and you came out to the ping pong event, which was fucking fun.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was the olden days when we had Jim Raya.
Jimmy's a character. I like Jimmy.
I have to, I podcasted with you first. Dan Romano always gave me a spot to shine. But Jim Raya and Bonnie needed a third person, and they thought of me because they are in their 50s, and they wanted somebody who was, I'm 30 now, but I was in my 20s. They're like, we'll hit all the demographics. And they had faith in me. And honestly, if I didn't have this podcast during COVID, I don't know what I would have done. Because looking up, like, going to shows and making people laugh is what we as comedians live for. And at least 2 times a week during COVID, I had to shower and look pretty and be presentable and be fun for you guys. And then I have fun because I know that it's for everybody. It's not just about me anymore. It's like I've made this obligation now. And we've got people like
we keep
David Lang, fossilized shark tooth. How cool is that? Yes, David Lang. And also, guys, if you guys want fucking jewelry, my cousin does. She goes Charleston, South Carolina. She finds like 100 shark tooths in a day and she lines them up and has the perfect ones for earrings. You wearing a shark tooth?
No, alligator, but
oh, okay, close.
Same thing.
Same thing.
I have an unhealthy obsession with crocodilian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's not your spirit animal. What's your obsession with them?
Just the fact that they are probably the most efficient killer on the planet.
Ooh.
But no, I don't feel a connection to any reptiles. I don't know.
So they're the most dinosaur-like.
Oh, they're definitely dinosaurs. I mean, they haven't evolved much over time. It's been the same.
Is that what you like, not changing?
No, I just like the fact that they're
evolved. Monsters.
They're evolved.
But they stayed
as a species. They evolved as a species so much that they don't have to do any more evolution. We as humans don't have that luxury. We have a lot of evolving to do as people.
But what if we don't look different? What if we're just evolving? Maybe they're evolving mentally.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Being someone who I was raised in the 80s to 2020, I've seen. I think it's probably one of the best times to be alive because we went from not having phones on the walls to cell phones in your pocket, computer in your pocket, to carrying a beeper with quarters in your pocket, to now everything is here. I was playing Oregon Trail on a green screen computer.
Oregon Trail, motherfucker.
To what we have now. It's just I don't think our brains have evolved fast enough with the technology that we have, and it's kind of short wiring people. And social media is a failed experiment. It's become a political cesspool instead of being what it was meant for, which was to keep up with people that you don't see and share recipes and show pictures of your family.
Now everything is
fuck Trump, this, fuck Trump, fuck Biden, fuck this one, fuck that one. I'm like, I don't fucking care, not one way or the other. I don't fucking care. I don't want to hear that's your business. Just like I don't want to hear about your religion. I'm not going to talk to you about Catholicism or it's not. I was taught as a kid, you don't talk politics. You don't talk a religion to people. It's just not. It's not a healthy thing to talk about with people. It never ends up in a good place, even with like-minded people, because you're not like-minded with everything.
Right. So, there's going to be some plot hole that you're going to say, well, wait a minute, what the fuck is this? What about that? And then everything goes out the window. And they're like, let's just all just go to hell.
And I used to be a big conspiracy theorist, so I see holes in everything. I'm like, I notice stuff that a lot of people don't notice because like the whole thing with the woke now. The woke movement. Everybody's woke now. And I'm like, woke was a thing that conspiracy theorists used to say to each other, and we were made fun of about it. And the people who are using that,
I was
that
woke
particular,
before it was woke to be woke.
But the people who are calling themselves woke aren't woke under the standards of what woke is.
It's like being an anarchist.
Yeah.
Like, let's all get together and be anarchists.
Yeah, which is, most conspiracy theorists are anarchists. Most of them do want, or they want limited government.
They want organized anarchy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Losers.
That's what well, look what happened with Chaz. And it's funny because it was like...
Wait a minute. What are your thoughts on that? Even though this isn't political. I thought it was great.
They walked in. The first thing they did was build a wall because they didn't want anybody coming in that they didn't want. They armed themselves. They beat people up for filming. They had pretty much mob justice. That's...
And you don't think that's okay?
No. Here's my thing. I don't care what you do as long as you're not infringing on me.
But you didn't go up there.
No, I wasn't. I'm not calling Chaz.
So fuck it, right?
Yeah, I don't care what people do with their, I don't care how much fucking pot you grow or fucking what you do. I don't care how many fucking guns you own as long as you're not fucking shooting them in the backyard at people.
At me.
Yeah,
I don't
care. I think people should have their rights. Their rights are their rights. I don't care. But you also can't infringe on anybody else. So if you're affecting other people, then that's no longer a right for you.
Right. The whole reason we put laws in place were for the dumbasses who can't figure out the laws themselves. Like don't kill anybody, not because it's bad, but because we'll put you in jail.
That's why the commandments were made up. They were in a lawless time, and somebody had to come along and be like, all right, well, I don't want this guy sleeping with my fucking wife anymore, so I'm going to pretend like I walked down into the woods.
I'm gonna start chipping at
these fucking tablets, and then I'm gonna come back and go, look what God gave me. Stop fucking my wife, please, and stop killing.
He's got 10 rules.
And you, Emmanuel, stop killing everybody.
It's the number one, Emmanuel. He's number one on the list.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. But that's evolution. We have evolved from a very primitive species to what we are now. And I think that like I said, I think we have pushed technology further than we were ready for.
I feel bad for the kids now because I'm 15.
Well, they're the ones that are going to understand it.
I'm 15. I got it when I was 15, and I'm 30, and I can understand, even looking at it from a comedy perspective, of like what it means to put yourself out there and what it means to get feedback and maybe it not be the best feedback. And like that's why I was at a family reunion, and it was me and my cousin who's 30 years old, and then my comedian started commenting because my cousin's niece was in the picture with us, and she's like a 7-year-old little girl, and my cousin didn't realize that my page is public. So as soon as you tag your kid, so like I took that off because I don't want to, it's weird. I don't want to be part. My page is for you see that I'm a comedian. I don't need to post pictures and selfies of what I'm doing every weekend.
My wife tags me in on pictures of my kids, but I typically don't post pictures of my kids because I interact with too many people in the world, and I don't want them to know what they look like. God forbid. I got a green-eyed and a blue-eyed Mexican children. They're high on the list for traffickers.
They're number one on the rarity. You get a lot of points for bringing those ones in.
Rarity list. Listen, I watched Hostel. I know what that shit's all about. That shit is fucking real. There's people being sold.
And I am not Liam Neeson. So
there's people being sold to this day. The trafficking never stopped.
Yeah.
Not in hundreds of years. It's still been going
really
on. So
scary. I know, and that's why when growing up, my mom was like, "Everyone's gonna rape you. Don't fucking let your guard down ever.
Don't go with the guy in the van
Never
that
go
has
to the
dog
second
and the bubble gum.
location. Never go to the second location. You could survive if you go to the first location, but second location, you're fucking dead."
Yeah, it's raised much differently. But also back then,
I was also a girl.
Communities were stronger back then, though, too, because like all your neighbors knew who you were. Their parents interacted with them. They interacted with you.
Because there wasn't the phone. You couldn't just go because like now I don't need to talk to my neighbor. I'm like, "What's your name?" And then I fucking scope out her shit.
Yeah.
It sketched me out that you said my house is still on Zillow.
Well, every house is on Zillow.
But it's weird. Like I bought it. Don't fucking look at my house.
Every house is on Zillow, and then they put the estimate out there on what.
Don't look at my house as I'm broadcasting from my house.
Like I said, so I went to Google the address because I'm like, I know Wright Avenue. I'm like, I know it. I've seen it before. I know where it is, and it's in the Sorry. I don't want to give. We won't give the whole thing. But I know where it is.
It's in Wisconsin, Deer Park.
Yeah, my bad. I was like, I know where it is because I have a friend that lives next block over. But when I Googled it, it's the first thing that popped up. Zillow and Realtor.com.
Yeah.
And it gives
They're
you,
like, don't you want to buy over here? Because you're driving over here a lot.
Estimated price of the house. And I'm like, it's not what I wanted. I wanted directions.
Yeah,
but
thanks for being rude and fucking intrusive, Zillow.
Same thing to me. Like I went out, so I looked up mine, and it's telling me how much they think how much the house is worth, what they think the estimated, what it's going to cost to fix whatever's wrong with the house. Which
it's like, you don't know what work I've been doing in here, you fucking assholes. It's fucking perfect in here.
They greatly underestimated the amount of work. They said $6,000. I was like, that's one bathroom. I still got one bathroom.
Are you kidding? Yeah, honestly, when I was pricing out this house, I was like, okay, if it needs a bathroom, that's $10,000. You need a fucking kitchen, which I was not ready to do. That's 30 or 50 grand. And I'm not living in a construction site. So I went the extra money and had a place that was not fucking, because you're spending your money either in the renos or you put your money up. Well, that's what I figured out when I was looking at the market.
When we bought our house, even our realtor was like, no, this is a steal. She's like, so give them close to asking. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
But it was all set up.
Yeah.
Once they got everything out of there, I was like, we walked in the house the day of closing, and I was like, what the fuck did I just buy? I looked at my wife. I was like, we made a mistake.
Oh, because it needed work?
Oh, it needed. I mean, this lady covered up paint. She spilled a gallon of paint on the carpet. She covered it up with another carpet. They pulled that carpet.
Like all
it was outlets hanging out of the walls that shit was pushed up against.
It's like the money pit. Like
I didn't realize the walls weren't even sheetrock. They were paneling, and underneath the paneling was
paneling. That's bad.
Shit.
Oh, like plaster?
Plaster, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the worst ever.
I'm like, this is fucking great. I'm like, because that means I have to rip down everything from floor to ceiling.
We might as well just demo the fucking house at this point. It's fucking plaster.
We are. I'm like,
that's really what it comes down to.
At this point, we're just going to demo every room, and we're going to have to sleep where we can sleep when we can sleep. So every year we do something new. We just redid the bathroom.
And we just keep nomadically moving around the house.
I'm like, yeah, from the outside of my house, it looks like shit. But when you go inside and you look at everything that's been redone. But
and
I'm not worried about the outside.
Exactly. I know. It's funny because I think that my neighbors hate me. I actually know they do, but well, we got a citation. We parked the fucking truck on the front lawn because my husband doesn't want to have to jockey the cars.
You got a citation from who?
Exactly, the fucking town.
Town of Babylon?
Yeah. Let's give my address a little more. Yeah, no. So that means one of my fucking neighbors routed me out.
What? Fucking assholes.
They're just jealous because I don't have kids.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, honestly, that's what I chalk it up everything to. I'm like, they're just jealous because I don't have kids.
They bought the fucking house for no reason. They don't need a house that big.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't buy a little house down the block.
And they always got fucking car on the fucking...
That's when you want to go outside and go, fuck you, Karen, shut up.
It's.
I hate
I'm not going to say his first name, but I know who it is. I have a strong sense of who it may be.
That's my whole point. Is like you're not infringing on anybody. You're not doing anything wrong.
Right. I'm sorry that you have to look at me being convenienced.
That's my grass. If I want to park on my fucking grass, I'm gonna park on my fucking grass.
And then part of that like even looks white trash, like even like exhilarates my husband more.
Town of Huntington.
It's like, tell me what to do.
Town of Huntington's like the worst with some shit. And
oil tanks they don't give a fuck about because I did oil tanks for years and they're like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. Why are you calling us?
Huntington?
Yeah.
Oh, they changed that law. I had to bury mine and put a new one in. But like it's like Town of Huntington, no matter what I do.
That was in the last 5 years then for sure.
Yeah. Town of Huntington, no matter what I do, I could put a 6-foot window in my basement, but it's not livable. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. Like, if I can get out of this window, that door, and that window, I should be able to fucking sleep down here. Like, they don't allow you to do that. I mean, fucking, like, it's my house. Go fuck yourself. If I want to die in a blaze in my fucking basement, that's my fucking problem, not yours. Don't worry about it. Because you know who's gonna fucking win out of all this? You. Because everybody's gonna be fucking dead, and the property's gonna be up for grabs, and the town's just gonna take it and sell it. So fucking be happy about it.
Yeah, my family's not gonna claim any of the money that we paid into your
program. My whole family's in the house with me.
They're all gonna die in a fiery blaze.
I don't have any. I have two younger brothers. They're not gonna come claiming the house on Long Island. They don't even like it here. They live upstate. They don't even come to visit. So they're not gonna come claim a property that's going to go right to the town. So let me do what the fuck I want to do on my goddamn. Just like, Over the pandemic, they were flying over people's backyards looking for pools.
Oh yeah. They were doing Google search. They were just Google search because they need to get some money. Who's got pools that we don't fucking?
Yeah, it's fucking. I'm like, what are you fucking? I'm like, if you come to my house with a fucking and say you flew a drone over my house, I'm gonna tell you prove my house. Prove it's my house. Well, look, that's yeah. Prove it. Where does it say McDonald's or?
Where do you see Guadalupe McDonald on that fucking?
Well, where does it say East 12th Street? Where? There you go. See, I equally gave up my own address.
All right, we're good. Town of Huntington, Babylon, get at us. Adirondack Walking Stick fucking Company.
Adirondack Walking Stick Company. So yeah, I actually took over that business. The guy who taught me, his name was Richard Bender, also known as Dick.
Dick Bender.
Dick Bender, yeah. I used to.
Well, Bender's my favorite character on Futurama, but that's besides
I
the
like
point.
I like Bender for Futurama too. I used to, as you know, I frequent travel upstate. So this is a guy that I used to sit with and watch him whittle out of, walking sticks.
Okay.
And eventually he started a small company and started selling them. And I kind of took his tutelage on. As he's gotten older, I kind of took a branch of it and brought it here to Long Island, and me and one of my partners. So that's what we're doing currently. But
you're keeping the legend alive.
Yeah.
You're keeping the legend alive. So you almost did like an apprenticeship, but more like a friendship with this man?
Only when I was up there. It was kind of one of those things where...
It was like a guy you see in the woods, like, hey, you want to... it's like a Sasquatch kind of sighting thing.
It's like one of those people you could tell has a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, okay.
Been through a lot of the shit in the world.
Been around the block twice.
Has a lot of stories as they sit there with a knife cutting wood.
Yeah. I know.
Anybody who does that looks knowledgeable. It doesn't matter where you are. They could have missing teeth.
I'm gonna start whittling just so people fucking start taking me seriously.
It could be missing teeth, have an eye patch, missing.
But he's whittling.
Have one ear, but he's whittling.
Fucking...
And if he's whittling, he's doing something. He knows something. He's been some places.
Oh my Lord.
So yeah, if you're friends with me and you want one, get at me.
Yeah, seriously, the Adirondack Walking Stick Company. I am honestly so fucking honored right now. You have no idea. And the only reason that it's not going to be in the studio at all times is because there's dogs here, and they'll be like, I'm going to see a dog with this in its mouth, and I'm going to be like, that's not the stick that you're allowed to use. Like, and I love these dogs, and I don't want to beat anybody with a stick.
I don't use any
power
tools, with the exceptions of maybe just cut the tops.
I can feel like that human heart went into this. Like, that's why I haven't let it go since you handed it to me.
Everything was cut with a knife and sanded down and all done by hand.
And like, that's what you can't pay for, guys. Like, you can't pay for time. You can't pay for somebody's time. That's priceless.
That's why when I posted that picture, it was probably right before I went to the Adirondacks in August. And then I'd say, what did I say? About mid-September, I'll be done with it.
And you said, I'm terrible at keeping surprises. And I was like, holy fucking shit. Because I'm an asshole. I don't even remember, like, saying that. I remember talking about it, but I don't remember, like, inserting myself upon that I needed one. And I'm sure I did.
You said, you were like, I really want one. And I was like, but
you were like, come on, what can I do to get one?
We were in the midst of a whole conversation. It was kind of one of those things where I guess.
You were like, yeah, okay, noted, but okay.
I think we were even maybe... cutting out, and we were doing.
Was it when I was in the backyard for Jan's birthday?
No, it was on the Zoom show. It was on the Zoom show that we.
Because I actually sat in for Emily and then we did the Zoom for Jan's birthday.
Was it? Might have been that show.
So either way,
Probably.
Anyways, I requested this, and here I am
with
it, and I'm honored. I really am, because the man hours and the legend. It's you and your buddy keeping the legend alive.
Yeah. It's very something that, and I've taught my friend, so he's apprenticing under me kind of.
Yeah.
But we're taking this. Unfortunately, this year they didn't have any. They didn't have any of those things that they do in the park.
Right.
We were going to set up a vendor shop and start selling some of the ones we have, because we have a few in stock that are ready to go.
I will post this if anybody wants an Adirondack walking stick
just hit
from
me up.
the company. Seriously, I hit up Justin McDonald, comedian Justin McDonald, because these are handcrafted, one of a kind, beautiful. This is a great gift.
And my wife says all the time that when I'm doing that, she doesn't notice the person that I am. She's like, you kind of leave yourself.
Yeah, you're like meditating.
Yeah, she's like, you kind of she's like, I never see you so peaceful, because I'm always moving, my legs always going. Like when I'm doing that, I'm just steady-handed, and The only thing that sucks is I'm a terrible drawer, you know. So
But you know what? The fact that like you got calming out of this
yeah,
makes it even more special to me. Like I said, I can't take my hands off of it, but like the fact that you carved
yeah,
it and it brought you therapy, the
yes,
therapy is in the wood,
yeah. And I think
and I could feel it.
when we do them, I think a lot of people notice that. You know, like I just made one.
Like my hand is just like I could feel where you wanted the hand to fall.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
like you held it
I
and made
do.
it like.
Designing it is always the hard part. Like the stick itself.
And did you like have to be like Mandy's a short bitch? She needs a little one. Like, or do you do
You know,
that?
I have ones that are like, you know, like Gandalf staff that are like up past my
Okay. If
shoulder, and then
anybody wants an Adirondack Walking Stick Company from the Walking
I
Stick
have one
Company, we're
that's like
not
a cane.
kidding.
I have one that's like a cane. It's the same
Okay.
size. It's only like this long. Got a
Okay.
bend in it. It's a cane.
Do you have anywhere that they have all this lot like available, readily
Not
available?
at the moment. That is what I'm working on next. I just kind of got the go recently to expand it to Long Island. It was kind of something that he was keeping as you have to come here to get it type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And oh my God, well, that's
So
great that he's honoring
yeah,
you.
so well, it's more of us honoring him and bringing it someplace to where people enjoy it. I had to, you know, I had to explain to him that, you know, we do hike here. We have hiking trails. We have lakes. We have, you know,
Yeah. It's not gonna get used the wrong way.
yeah, it's not going to become a weapon where somebody's going to get.
Even though Mandy did consider
Which-
taking a fucking.
But I mean, hey, listen.
But I'm also I weaponize at most things. So.
I mean, well, me too. Me too. I mean, I'm a knife collector. I'm a sword collector. It's only fitting that I make walking sticks that can bash people on the head. You know, but it's a creative side of me. Like I kind of let the, like I'm working on one right now that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with. My friend gave it to me and he was like, I want to see what you do with this. And I was like, all right. But it's just, as I'm going, I kind of see what I want to do and I get ideas, you know, it was, so just like the burn, like that. I burned that all myself and then I sanded it down and then I
guys,
reburned it again.
There's going to be like serious nice pictures. There's going to be an entire album so you guys can see all
And
the beautiful detail that went into this.
I had to hand carve that out to put the tooth in there, and that was put in with epoxy. And then there's about 10 to 15 coats of polyurethane on there. It was
time and love went into this.
Yeah.
And well, I love you for that. I love you for that.
You asked for it, and we're friends, and I've known you since you started doing this, and I like doing things for people, especially stuff like that. If I'm gonna have fun doing it and it's going to make you happy to get it, then I'm like, fuck it. You know, it may take me a month, but you'll get it. You'll get it eventually.
That's great because that's like kind of my mission on this earth is that we can't get through this life alone. It's too hard.
No.
It's too hard. So
we're tribal people.
We need to gang up and help each other.
Humans are very tribal and we forget that. And we don't, but we do. You see it come out, the worst part of it come out in politics. And then you see the best part of it come out with like comics getting together in an open mic and being patting each other on the back and love and hugging each other and everybody's friendly. So that's a part of our DNA that we haven't gotten over yet, and maybe we never will. That's something, you know, some animals, which is exactly what we are. Some animals are just naturally pack animals, and that's what they need to do to survive. You know, a wolf you're never going to see a lone wolf. It does happen, but it's very rare. Usually they
something happened.
Usually they're in packs, you know. Even lions are in prides. You get very few animals that, with the exception of like tigers or something like that hunt alone or that roll alone. It's not safe. It's not safe alone.
Yeah, you need someone watching your six at all times.
And not for nothing, if the world came to an end tomorrow, we wouldn't be highest on the food chain anymore.
Oh no, we would not.
You know, you can hide in your house, but there's going to be something that's going to come along that's going to be bigger and hungrier than you.
There's going to be koalas at your fucking door.
Listen, I had an encounter with a real bear when I was more than once when I was a kid. People think it's funny because people they think of a beaver and they think they're like this little cute little.
No, beavers are nasty.
Beavers are fucking huge. Their tail is like a tennis racket.
And their teeth are fucking like this.
And they are mean as fuck. Like, people, I don't know. People's perception of what things are sometimes to me. And it's because of my study of zoology and constantly going upstate and traveling through the woods and uncovering rocks to find snakes and shit like that. You know, you learn all this stuff. You know, I've seen people online that just moved upstate. The guy's like, oh, I found this dog in my yard. Is it anybody's dog? And I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking coyote. You should get it out of your house. Oh, he was eating my garbage. He was friendly. I'm like,
Should
yeah.
I get it shipped? We've been calling it.
I'm like, that's because your idiot fucking neighbors are feeding it. Don't do that. Let the dog out. It's not a dog. It's a fucking wolf. Take it out of your house.
Get it away from the toddler in the picture, please.
Yeah, I was wondering why I was growling at my little Toto. I'm like, yeah, because Toto's lunch. That's why.
Yeah, the fucking dog knew it wasn't a fucking dog.
Yeah.
You should know it's not a dog, sir.
And for as much as I hate zoos, I say this all the time. If you need zoos, because without zoos, kids will never see these animals. And if we don't see something, we don't give a shit about it. As human beings, it's the truth. You know.
So, all right. So a couple whales are held in captivity, but we give a fuck about whales for but it's the truth.
I don't like the captivity of animals that are just as intelligent as us. Like, I can't stand watching gorillas and monkeys in a cage. You can tell that they're miserable.
Well, dolphins, you ever see them look at their reflection?
Yes, and dolphins are evil. Dolphins are evil animals.
Really?
Male dolphins, a pod of male dolphins have been known to kidnap and rape a female dolphin and kill her when they're done with them. That's why intelligent
dolphins, you motherfuckers.
Intelligent beings are not necessarily.
They're always painting them like they're these little fucking angels.
Killer whales are the worst too. Killer whales are dolphins, and they drown other whales.
But they're called killer whales. They're not called fucking dolphins.
But they're not whales. They're dolphins.
Jesus fuck. All right, we got 5 minutes. Selfless, shameless self-promotion.
I got nothing.
Yeah, you do. Two and a half men.
2 minute and a half a lady. Sundays on Facebook Live.
One-ish.
One-ish. Yeah, we
and
try
that's
to start
great.
it. We try to start at 1, but between the age gap of some of us, we can't get here on time.
The age gap.
Sorry, Jan.
Jan was on proper time when I was there.
See, I think that's why we started that podcast, because really it was Jan's a senior. I'm 40 and Emily's trans, and it was like the mix of us together. I'm a conspiracy theorist. She's
and he's like a knowledgeable, well-read person.
He's a professor, an ex-professor, and it just goes. It blends well together. It's like, you know, Emily beats me up all the time though, because I start getting on these little right-wing rants, which they're really not. They're just shut up.
No,
you're gonna vote for Trump, and I'm like, I don't know who I'm voting for.
No, the best is making fun of Jan. He's late again. She's like, "What? Did Dad die again?"
Again, twice?
It's no excuse, Jan.
She did it to him 2 weeks, and then the third week he was late, and she was like, "What's the matter? Your dad was resurrected?" And I'm like, "Jesus Christ, Jan! Jesus Christ, Emily, don't."
Like a little respect. Like, "What? Did your dad die again?" It's no excuse, is what she said. But he loved it. He thought it was the greatest thing.
Yeah. No.
It's no excuse.
No. It's like, stop beating a dead horse. Don't do that anymore.
Meanwhile, she just like doesn't show up sometimes. No, it's like,
I didn't show up for the whole month of August.
It's at your house.
No, we were doing it Zoom. No, because most August I'm usually up north for a lot of August.
Yeah, that's your happy place. That's where he gets his Adirondack Walking Sticks.
I do go hunting for wood when I'm up there, and I do bring wood back. It's part of the
that's part of the thing. It's part of the treasure hunt when you're up there.
But almost all the jewels that I get all come from up there. So I only get them from up there. I don't buy them online. We literally mine them ourselves. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So hell yeah. I mean, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We got 2 more minutes, but the time went so fast. I didn't write any questions because I knew it was going to be fabulous.
I knew you weren't going to have to.
We were just going to be ourselves.
Not going to interview me. There's nothing to interview.
Oh, stop. All right, I'll give you a question. What's something on your bucket list?
Get the fuck off Long Island as soon as possible.
Okay. And Zillow, stop fucking judging me when you don't know the work I've done inside my house. You don't know about the custom shoe rack in my fucking closet, in my fucking doorway, all right?
I have a pretty good life. I can't really complain. I've done a lot of things. I've crossed a lot of things off my bucket list that I considered, but I never had anything crazy. Like, people have, like, sometimes, I want to climb Mount Everest. I'm like, I didn't have anything like that. I wanted to be a hip hop artist. I wanted a radio show. I wanted to be a comic. I kind of did all those things.
No, but you work hard. You wouldn't be where you are right now if you didn't work hard.
No, absolutely not.
Glenn wouldn't know what a fucking podcast was if you didn't bring us to your house and show us what a podcast was.
You would have figured it out eventually.
But you know what I mean? But you were the one that was kind enough to bring me into your house. And
as my cousin from England says, not anymore because I have 2 co-hosts, but when I was doing it solo, she I used to send the shows to her, and she would edit it for me. And she was like, "You're the Joe Rogan of New York." And I was like, I appreciate. She's like, just the way you tend to your podcast and the way you talk and how you're very open to subjects that are not necessarily your belief, and how you. And she was like, "You're very good at that." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm an open-minded person." I was like, "But I don't get 1 billion views a year." I was like, "So thank you, but I would love to have Joe Rogan's Spotify $150 million numbers, where he moves to fucking Texas and opens up his own goddamn fucking comedy club."
But you know what? No millionaire has one source of income. No millionaire.
No,
He
does a lot.
did his commentator. He did his. And you know what? I don't think you should dream small.
No, I don't. I would love to see myself on HBO with an hour special, or something to that extent. I would love to pack out a
So
stadium.
when you're not when you're supposed to be going to a mic, you're gonna write, and I'm gonna write next time I'm supposed to go to a mic.
Yeah, we
All
definitely got
right.
to. Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you having me on. It was a lot of fun.
I love you, Justin. I
I love you
really
too.
do.
You guys are great.
And I am fucking so pumped about my walking stick. You guys have no idea. I'm Mandy Jones, a comedian. This is Justin McDonald. We are the Calamity Jones Hour. Keep coming back. We love you.
Ciao.